Well, good morning, everybody. And here we are at day 12. Um, I'm pretty sad, actually. But one thing I want to say is just thanks so much for the privilege, of especially during, this season. And I don't know, I feel like you guys kind of let me into your home every morning for 12 days and just feel like I connected with a lot of people, especially, through all the comments. And thank you so much for all of those. And it's just been a really great experience for me and something that, maybe it will become a tradition. I'd really like to see that. I think, one thing that I want to talk about today is just that I don't think we talk about enough. I think that in order to be successful, especially with online, building an online business, it's tempting to always be by yourself, to go it alone because you can, But I think it's really, really important to have some kind of positive reinforcement from the outside, some kind of support, help, and community, some place where you can get another pair of eyes, even if it's not something as formal as a partner. I think it's just really, really important. I'm not sure that I would have been able to do, well, I know I wouldn't have been able to build, I was able to have some pretty good success by myself, but it was really limiting, because nobody is good at everything. And, everybody really, really benefits from having another pair of eyes and somebody who can bring a fresh perspective. And, I talked about this in another video I did, and this really hit home when I was reading about this, is oftentimes we don't know the difference between advice and knowledge. And you get a lot of people in your life who'll say, that'll never work. Don't do that. Well, most of the time that's advice, and it can be bad advice, but it's definitely not knowledge because those people haven't actually done the thing that they're suggesting you don't do. And so I think that a lot of people just get kind of sidetracked before they even begin. They don't surround themselves with people who have knowledge, rather than just want to give advice. And, not surprisingly, the advice from people who actually have knowledge is a lot more valuable than people who just want to give advice and have no knowledge. But I think it's really important to focus yourself or to have yourself surrounded by people in some way, that are positive and that know what they're talking about, and there's a couple different ways you can do that. Certainly forums, and I strongly encourage you to use our forum, and that's the link. Getting a partner, thinking about building your business with a partner is a really, really good idea. And, people always ask me, well, where'd you meet Tim? And we always kind of kid around by saying Match.com or eHarmony or something like that. But the fact is, Tim reached out to me. I had like a little small mastermind group that I reached out to. I had huge success as an affiliate marketer, and had $1 million a year and blah blah blah. And so I had a lot of notoriety in the community. And so I said, I really need help. I need to build a small community. So I built a mastermind group of like 10 people or whatever through some online communities. And Tim found me in that way, and we started talking, and, the rest is history. So, finding a partner, finding a mastermind group, you'd be surprised. There's actually, believe it or not, I live in this little town called Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and the big city is Raleigh. There is a Raleigh internet marketing group. So, I mean, shockingly enough, if you just do some searches, you'll find that. And of course, there are paid mastermind groups, which, you have to make sure that you kind of align yourself with the right one, obviously. And so that's kind of tough. I mean, we have our, Blueprint Pro Plus program. It's not really a mastermind group, but it's, monthly webinars, and it's a community. So certainly we think, that one's good. I just want you to always remember that and be aware of these things. This is another thing that I've talked about in some other videos lately. These are the pitfalls. These are the things that people get into, and I'm not going to go through all of these. But don't worry about failure. Everybody fails, and it's a requirement. Join the club. Every single person who's successful has failed. We've talked about having a plan and a focus. Don't give up, man. Just never give up. I mean, really, we've talked about support structure today. This is really important. This whole goals thing. This is something that I've really started to look at over the last couple of years. I find that people who set up their goals as I want to make $100,000 or I want my own business or whatever, those are good goals. They're fine. There's nothing wrong with them. But they are more easily discarded than people who have a goal of I want freedom. I want the freedom to live in Montana because I've always wanted to do that, and so I want to be able to run my business from there. I want the freedom to be able to spend as much time as I want with my children as they're growing up. Those goals are not things. They're state of minds, they're emotions, they're, that kind of thing. And people are much less likely to give them up. So I encourage you to, we've talked about that, why we do this and freedom and all that kind of stuff. Really think about that, man, and have those as your goals. At least, if not instead of, at least in addition to, I want to make 100,000 and I want my own business. Paralysis, people just get paralyzed. They just don't know what to do. Just don't fall victim to these 7 deadly sins of building your online business. And obviously just showing up, man. I mean, it's my favorite one. I talk about it all the time. Just freaking show up. It's 80-90% of the battle. Anyway, just keep thinking about these. Don't fall victim to these. Make sure that you fix them. Hey, we got some fun software. I told you about that. There's a blog post underneath this one that has a quick little video and some access for the software. So, play around with that. But something really important that I want to talk to you about, just to close this out, is eFormula Plus. We are something very special to us. And you may have seen a video that I sent out yesterday, but it's okay if you haven't. As I said, pretty special. It's a small group of people that we are going to make sure that we fix those 7 deadly sins and get them to success. We are focused on building one e-com site in 60 days that makes $1,000 a month in profit. That is what Finish looks like. And we are going to be hyper focused. It's going to be really exclusive. It's expensive. It's not for everyone. And we're going to be launching that on Monday, January 7th. And I expect that it will not be live for long because we literally have a handful of spots. And the reason that we have a handful of spots is that it's just such personal interaction. It's such personal one-on-one kind of a thing where, we're just going to drag you kicking and screaming into that 61st day. We're going to make sure that we take care of every single one of these things. Anyway, if you're interested, and I think you should be, really, I think this is the time to show up. This is the time to really kick off 2013. I have a great offer for you guys just to say thanks. We're not going live until Monday, but we're going to give you guys early access to this to be able to get into it today. And it won't be up long. But early access and a third off of the price. So there's a whole video on exactly what it is and how it's going to work. And I urge you to watch that video, even if you don't think you want to do it, because I think you'll find it interesting. And there's a great big honking link underneath this video, right in this blog post. That'll take you to the place to watch that. But guys, this is the way to do it. You can knock off one pillar, and we are giving you early access and 1/3 off the price. So please just show up. Just go watch the video, see what you think. Our prize today is actually a membership in eFormula Plus, and I think that is maybe the best prize we've given throughout the whole 12 days here, because it's the prize that keeps on giving. If we can, get $1,000 a month on just one site and then teach you how to build other sites. And our winner is Steve, and there's Steve's email address. So, hey, listen, again, I can't thank you enough. I have enjoyed this so much. I feel like I've really connected with people again. It was a great way to start 2013. And please remember, I'd like you guys to start 2013 just with a huge bang. And you've got an opportunity that is staring you in the face right now. So please just take it. Click that link below the video and take a look at what I'm talking about with eFormula Plus, because you have an amazing opportunity just for being involved in the 12 days. Thanks again.